Hey y'all, this is a scene for Empire of Thorns. Um, young Soren was told by the king that he could request something of him. Anything would be at his disposal to help solve this. And he asked him for something. The king, of course, acquiesced and told him that he would give it to him as soon as possible. He'd have to go back to the court and see what he had on hand. Um, and the king contacted him to let him know that um, he has he has the item that he asked for, and he would like him to come to the Winter Court to receive it. Um, with him, Soren brought along his friend and kind of mentor, uh, William Morgan, um, who's dressed in his normal dark clothing, just kind of happily going along with you.
Soren is also dressed in dark clothing, but his demeanor has kind of shifted. Um, when he first got back, Soren was almost feral. Like, straight up, he was almost feral. As he got to know Malik and Azure and everybody else, he started to warm up a little bit. He started to be that young, fun-loving kid that he kind of was before he was taken. But this whole thing with Azure and this definite loyalist gentry shit, his demeanor has changed. Whereas before he could just be right next to you and not even know. He's he's starting to, when he walks into the room, people are noticing now. It's very strange. He's becoming slightly more expressive as he goes on. He's rediscovering his emotions, and he's rediscovering what it's like to be human, because he's feeling everything at the moment. His emotions are in such a torrent that he can't. I mean, don't get me wrong, he can still sneak around like a boss, but it's just that he can't. It's not as passive as it used to be.
Mm-hmm. He'll you're led the into the court by some of the quiet, very um, almost unassuming drudges, um, and um, I want you to make me a fate roll. I want you to roll me a plus or minus.
Got it. Can it be blank?
No,
Okay.
it needs
That's a
to be
plus.
plus or minus. Okay, it is a plus. All right. Here's the deal. You two are so fucking quiet, and you're just you've been very clear about the fact that you're quiet. He's very quiet. Um, your judges are very quiet, and so your character sees your character. What it is that you being respectful. I imagine arrived early.
Yes, of course.
Well, the problem is that the king and queen weren't ready to receive you, and when you're let up, you're so quiet that the king and queen aren't aware that you're there. And you see Cerise basically kind of standing with her back to you two, and she has her hand kind of crossed in front of her. She's basically got her arms crossed, and the king is standing like kind of with his hands pressed to a table, not like hard, but like his fingertips are resting on the table. And you notice Cerise just shakes her head, and she looks very a mixture between just disappointed and angry and just almost lost, like she just sorrowful, to be honest. And you hear the king um, say to her, I don't think I'm being unclear. I don't think I haven't expressed to you exactly what I'm trying to explain to you. I can't take this. I, I love you, and you just. He'll kind of run his hands through his hair and just kind of almost like pull at them at the crown of his head. And he says, "Do you love me?" And she'll shake her head and say, "Of course I love you. How could you even question that?" And he'll just shake his head and say, "What show do I have other than the fact that you wear my ring on your finger? What? I'm not asking you to make passionate love to me every night. I'm not asking. I just..." And he'll basically kind of just grip his fist and just kind of pull it closer to himself and just shake his head. And he'll say, "I have people from the courts arriving today. I need to calm before they come." I, and he'll take a deep breath and let it out. And she'll nod and she'll say, "Of course, I understand. Uh, I'll leave you to your business, Aiden. I..." And she kind of takes a deep breath. "I'll see you later." And she walks off. And he just takes a deep, just reset breath. And Will, by the way, is just kind of quietly looking at the floor, like, well, okay, that happened.
Soren's inner Darkling kicked in, and he was just like, okay.
I'm not here.
Perfect stillness. That overlooked quality that that was gone for a second came back, and he's like,
I ain't here. I ain't here. You two stand in that state of perfect stillness for about a minute or two, and the drudge will kind of shift uncomfortably and open the door to the observatory, to the greenhouse, and clear his throat. Your Majesty, your guests have arrived. And as though nothing is wrong, he turns around with a soft, gentle, warm smile on his face. And he'll say, "Ah, Soren. Oh, Dr. Morgan. Well, what a nice surprise." And he'll approach you too.
"Good morning, my lord." He'll bow his head.
He'll incline his head at him. And he'll incline his head to Dr. Morgan, who bowed. And he'll say, "You asked something of me yesterday, and I had to come back here and to look, but I think I found what you were looking for."
My lord,
And
it is very much appreciated.
he'll go back to the table and he'll come back over and he'll pull something from a sheath, a leather sheath, and lay it atop the sheath for you to inspect its beauty. And that is what he lays out. It is a blade made of pure, hard as steel ice. He says, "This is Winterborn. The cold chill of it bites deep. And those that call to flame and fire, it bites even deeper. It never needs to be sharpened. Razor's edge." It was mine for quite some time, but to be honest, I'll just kind of shrug, and he says, "Well, I think it's time to pass into your hands." And he'll offer it to you.
As he takes it, Soren will kneel straight up, almost like he's being gifted with a sword instead it's a knife, so his hands are a little closer together, and he will say, "My lord, you honor me profusely and immeasurably with this gift."
He'll bow his head to him again. You can feel the bite of the chill where it touches your skin. He'll explain that if you put it back into its sheath, the sheath conceals its cold and makes it handleable. But it is not. It's that cold. It
Oh
would burn you
boy.
if you pressed it to your skin. I carried this with me from my time in Fairy. And he'll smile at him.
It must be very difficult for you to part with it.
Well, I've made tales with it. There are stories of it by my side. I want some new tales. I want new stories. And he'll smile at him, and I don't think you'll disappoint me.
I'll do my best, my lord.
I hate to bequeath you this gift and leave, but I unfortunately am pressed for time today.
Of course, my lord. Thank you for giving me what little precious time you did have.
He'll incline his head to him again politely, and to Dr. Morgan, and he'll slip his hands back into his sweater pockets and head out. And lead you two back out. Once you're out, Will basically look at you like, well, that happened.
It did.
Shake his head and he'll say, I'm not one to talk of another man's house. Intense, though. Nod.
Right now, actually, as I'm coming back, as I'm getting used to everything, it's still hard to connect with people. It's harder for some than others.
I'll nod. I hope that's not the consistent and constant state of their union. That didn't look healthy for either party.
No. I hope, at least, that it's just been all the stress of the past few weeks just mounting on everyone.
I do too. Truly. I'll walk with him. As they're walking, like once they get past and they're kind of on the streets again, he'll stop at one of the breakfast stands, and he'll buy them a set of breakfast, whatever. I don't know if you've ever been to New York before, but there's a lot of places where you can get breakfast, like on the streets, croissants, bagels, like sausage and bacon and stuff like that. They're like on the street, literally.
Nice, okay.
And he'll stop at one of those and he'll grab you guys some stuff. What do you think of that new fellow, Sebastian?
What do I think?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Munch on his sandwich.
one of the first others of my same that I've ever met, and he's a kind fellow. At least I find him to be, and he has a certain chivalry about him that does occasionally remind me of myself.
Do you think he'd make a good Paladin of Shadow?
Of that much, I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in action yet.
Well, he
Not that
did
see people in action often.
He did get you both. He did. I'm sure you had a hand in it, obviously, but he did. He did get Draven back safely.
Yes, he has.
You all did.
Yes, but he is the one that you are evaluating at the moment, so we'll focus on him.
Mm-hmm. I just don't want you to think that I see your position in that.
Of course not.
Munch.
Either way, he.
It is cold, by the way, so he's like kind of shivering in his jacket, like, this is why I don't belong to winter.
Soren's pretty chilly himself. He's not gonna be.
We're not even gonna play this shit. It's cold.
Yeah, I'll just say. I think, given some time, and if he continues to do well, I think he'd make an excellent addition to the Paladins of Shadows.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'll kind of munch on his food. You said you needed him home slice, so whatever it was you needed him for, here he is.
Yeah. I think I've
He'll
made my
walk with you.
decision well.
He's not like. By the way, he's not like fucking rushing you or anything. He's just walking with your character through
Yeah,
Queens and just
what to
kind of.
say. I think I've made my decision well.
Oh.
What happened to Azure last night? It was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that that happened and knowing that there wasn't much I can do about it, except understand it. I left Fairy because I was scared. I learn in general because I'm scared of the unknown. I'm helping Malik, Azure, and the rest of the Spring Court because I'm terrified of what would happen if there wasn't this transition of power. But at the same time, I came back from that hellscape, for lack of a better term, and I came back as something I like to think as something more than what I was. Better or for worse, that place changed me. And I need to be used to that. I need to get that. The more we know about them, the easier it can be to fight them.
He nods, listening thoughtfully.
Truth of the matter is, I'm scared most of the time. This new world is terrifying. Some of the new trends in it are like these furries. I don't understand that.
And like anyone does.
But I think I know what I want to do. I want to master my own fear. And I want to use it so that way no one has to be afraid of the gentry ever again.
He'll nod.
Sorry for the wordy exposition, but consider this me officially telling you that I, Soren Dreamstrike, wish to join the Autumn Court.
He smiles broadly. Actually, no, it's a bit more of a subtle smile. He'll smile, a very small smile, but you can see the pleasure in his eyes. Would you do me the honor of being my protege?
It would be all my honor. Well,
He'll smile at him.
and there Soren goes, just scratching his wrist again for a sec. He just kind of looks at it very oddly. Just kind of shakes it off.
Will kind of looks at him for a second and smiles. And he said, I want to bet because of you.
Who's the bet with?
The Nadi, of course.
Yeah.
So his bet was that you would go to the Winter Court, actually.
Thought about it. I did consider it, but
Draven put 1,000 that you'd stay courtless.
everyone's out here betting on me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was that interesting.
Of course you are. You're the hottest thing in the court right now. Really? You didn't think you were that interesting? He'll shake his head like, what even?
Like, straight up. It's not
Straight
like
up.
I'm not that. I'm not. Nothing about me is particularly notable.
Like your drive and your determination and your will to succeed and your ability to be nothing remarkable whatsoever. You're practically a blip on the screen.
Sorry?
You're practically a blip on the screen.
And here I was hoping I wouldn't make waves.
I kind of see you more like the Leviathan beneath.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely need to work on that.
No. You're formidable and your presence is. I'll think on it for a moment. Your presence is powerful, but only when you choose to rise. Only when you choose to make the waves. You stay deep, the dark and cold. And then you coming to surface. He'll kind of take a bite of his food. Draven's going to change the challenge. Watch. Switching to current events.
Yeah.
He's going to get everybody set on the challenge being one way, prepare for it, and then on the fortnight, he's going to change it. I know my son-in-law. My stepson. He said stepson. I know my stepson.
Yeah. I don't know him that well, but he does seem like a good man. I'm glad we got him out of there safely.
He's all right.
Of course, given your prior history.
Exactly. I can't think anyone who took my wife to bed is all that great. Oh no, yeah, he's a great guy. He's lots of the earth. Keep him alive, for God's sake. How can I say softly? What do you want from me? Take a deep breath. I can't believe I'm off today. I'm gonna stretch. I don't even know what to do with myself today.
Spar? I mean, I could use the practice since I'm not that good with the combat. He just kind of
Yeah.
looks to the sides.
Yeah. Absolutely positively sure you're not. God, I'd murder you. He'll just shake his head.
Oh, sorry?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what we should do? I'll kind of grin at him. We should
Oh,
go to the movies.
we should. I haven't been to a movie theater since. I'm not telling you that.
We gotta we have to go to the movies and get the popcorn with all the butter. And oh God, I get to introduce you to the freestyle machine.
But what now?
So we're gonna fast forward this scene. It's going to go. He's gonna take you to the movies. You're gonna buy some tickets. You're gonna watch the 33 because goddamn it, he wants to watch it and he's paying.
Okay, he's like, all right, cool.
And then we get into the movie. We'll get into the concessions area. He'll buy the popcorn, each of them a tub, and then he'll take the cup, and then he'll go over to this large machine with a screen and an opening. It looks like any other drink fountain-ness thing. And he'll say, there you go.
How do you even fountain drink?
He'll kind of reach out and tap the screen, and it changes. And he'll kind of, all like these different sodas appear. Coke, Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb, well, not Mr. Pibb, but like different Coke products basically, all pop up on it. And he basically chooses Coke Zero with cherry, and then he basically like pushes the button and it starts dispensing it. And then he stops and he presses Coke Zero with lime, and he'll basically like press that and let it like kind of fill the rest. And then he'll pull it back and cap it and take a sip with a smile on his face.
What the fuck? At this point, Soren's just getting.
And at it, like, give it a try.
At this point, Soren just starts poking buttons, and he's just like, you know what? Let's just get like a random ass drink.
Okay. Your character selects a random ass drink. You dispense it, and it is pink.
Huh. Takes a sip.
It tastes like strawberry pez.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Your character has dispensed strawberry Sprite.
Nice.
So it'll help you to finish it out. He'll go into the movie theater with you, kick back, and he'll say, "You're not a talker, are you?"
No.
Because I have a gun. And he'll just kind of settle down. Watch the movie with you. I think with that we can end our scene.
Yep.
The most mundane of activities for the afternoon. So, thank you players for playing, and thank you watchers for watching, and thank you whoever the one viewer is. Good night.